You know that feeling, right? That warmth you get from being someone's go-to person, the one they call when they're lost, the one whose door they knock on when they're broken. It feels like love, doesn't it? It feels like you matter. Well, let's really dig into that today, because what if that feeling isn't love at all?
And that question right there is the heart of what we're exploring today. It's from a really powerful story about what it means to value yourself. See, we're often taught that love is all about sacrifice, that being there for everyone else is the ultimate sign of a good person. But what if there's a huge, critical difference between being loved and just being needed?
Okay, so this slide just lays it out so clearly. On one side, you've got being loved. That's when someone sees you, the actual person. On the other side, being useful. That's when they see what you can do for them. One is about your very presence, and the other is just about your function. To really feel the weight of this, let me tell you about a woman who lived this difference every single day.
Her name was Mara, and in her little village, everybody knew her name. Not because she was rich or famous, but for a different reason entirely. Everyone knew Mara because, well, everyone needed her. She was the one who just showed up, the quiet giver, the person who fixed problems before you even had to ask.
I mean, if a neighbor's roof had a leak, Mara was already there with the tools. If a kid got sick, Mara was taking them in. There was this old widower who wouldn't eat, and Mara brought him bread every single day. And she truly believed this was her purpose, helping people. It gave her this deep sense of peace, like she was doing exactly what she was meant to do.
But this one-way street of giving, it defined her closest relationships too. Take her husband, Edric. His love felt conditional. He'd get all quiet and distant when money was tight, but as soon as he found work again, he was warm and loving. And her best friend, Sella, their friendship was basically Sella showing up to pour out all of her problems, and Mara just took it all in, leaving her feeling heavier. Then there was Doran, a young man she mentored. He called her a mother, sure, but he only ever showed up when he was in some kind of crisis.
And here is the absolute key to all of this. Mara made excuses for it. She told herself, oh, this thing with my husband, that's just the rhythm of marriage. She convinced herself that being a human dumping ground for her friends' problems, well, that's what true friendship looked like. She thought giving and giving and giving to Doran was what it meant to be trusted. She was weaving this whole story in her head to make it all okay. But then, one autumn, everything came to a halt. Mara got sick. It wasn't anything life-threatening, but it was bad enough to put her in bed for 2 solid weeks. And for the first time in years, she couldn't give. She couldn't help. All she could do was lie there and wait. And in that quiet, in that stillness, a very painful truth started to bubble to the surface. This timeline here, wow, it just shows the deafening silence that surrounded her. So, on day 3, her best friend Sella stops by. But instead of asking how Mara's doing, she spends the entire time talking about a new problem she has. By day 5, her husband Edric starts making little comments about how much work is piling up now that she's sick. And Doran, the boy who called her a mother, in 2 full weeks, he didn't even show up. Not once.
So as Mara is just lying there in bed, she starts connecting the dots. She thinks about the neighbor whose roof she fixed, who never once checked in on her. She remembers old Thomas, the man she fed for a month, who then built a fence between their houses. She started to see the exact same pattern in every single one of her relationships.
And then it hit her, this moment of quiet, aching, crystal clarity. It wasn't angry, it wasn't bitter, it was just the simple, unavoidable truth. She had not been loved. She had been useful. And those two things, she finally understood, are not the same thing at all.
Mara's story really brings us to the core of this whole idea. So let's break down this crucial difference, because honestly, getting this can change how you see every single relationship in your life.
Okay, so being useful. It means your value is completely tied to your function. People think of you when they have a problem you can solve. You're like a tool, a resource, a temporary fix. And the second you can no longer serve that function, you basically become invisible.
But being loved? Oh, that's completely different. It means someone sees you. They see you when you're tired, when you're sick, when you have absolutely nothing left to offer them. Their care is for your being, not your doing.
And here's the real paradox in all of this. By constantly being the giver, the fixer, you're not just running yourself into the ground. You're actually stopping the people around you from growing. They never have to learn to solve their own problems. And while they stay dependent, you just quietly grow smaller and smaller.
So what did Mara do with this huge, life-changing realization? Let's go back to her story. When she finally got out of bed, she didn't get cold or bitter. She simply decided to change the way she was tending to her relationships and, more importantly, to herself. She started to choose her own garden.
She basically adopted 3 new rules for herself. First, she would only help from a place where she felt full, not from a place of obligation or fear. Second, she would speak her own truth first. She'd share how she was feeling before she absorbed everyone else's drama. And third, she decided to give people a standard to rise to, instead of constantly bending over backward to meet their needs.
And when she actually put these rules into practice, something pretty amazing happened. The next time Stella came over to vent, Mara spoke first about how she was feeling. And Stella, she actually listened. It was the start of a real two-way friendship. Her husband, Edric, faced with her new boundaries, actually got curious and started asking small, real questions about her day. Even Doran came back, and when Mara explained that caring means showing up, he got it. He finally had a standard to live up to.
And this right here is the main takeaway. It is such a profound truth for every single one of us. Your worth is not determined by how useful you are to other people. You are not a service. You're not a resource to be used up. You are a person, and you deserve care and presence, whether you have something to give or not.
So, I want to leave you with this final thought. It's an honest and, sometimes a pretty tough question to ask yourself. Think about a time you were at your absolute lowest, when you were sick or broken or just empty, a time when you had absolutely nothing to give. Who stayed? The answer to that question, it will tell you everything you need to know about who truly loves you.